Okay, so boys and girls, so for math we're going to do lesson 3, and in your workbook, you should have your workbook. Lesson 3, we're going to do identify the square and the rectangle, okay? So I'm going to go to your solve and share. Hopefully it opens. There you go. So on your solve and share.
Look at the quilt on Emily's bed. It is a rectangle. It is made up of squares of different colors. How many other rectangles can you find in her room? How many of the rectangles are squares? Count the shapes and show where you see them.
Okay, so look at the thing. So I'm gonna do this for you. Here is my arrow. Okay, so here you go. So we have 1 square here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There are 6 squares. I'm gonna put an X for rectangles. This is an X. Here's another square, the rug, rectangle. The floor itself is a rectangle. Okay, so that is your solve and shares. So you need to know between squares and rectangles. Okay, I'm going to go back to your solve and share, and then you're going to do visual learning.
What do you know about shapes with 4 sides? Let's see.
Look at the shape that is traced. How many sides does the shape have? It has 4 sides. How many vertices does the shape have? It has 4 vertices. Are all of the sides the same length?
No, they're not. So the top and bottom are the same shapes, and the one on the sides are the same size. Okay.
No, all of the sides are not the same length. This shape is called a rectangle. What shape does this dollar bill have? The dollar bill has the shape of a rectangle. How do you know it is a rectangle? It has 4 sides and 4 vertices. The opposite sides are the same length. Now look at the shape that is traced. How many sides does the shape have? It has 4 sides. How many vertices does the shape have? It has 4 vertices. Are all of the sides the same length? Yes, all of the sides are the same length. This shape is called a square. A square is a special rectangle because it has 4 sides, 4 vertices, and its sides are all the same length. What shape does this cracker have?
Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to put a square and a rectangle in the box. The first box is square and the second box is rectangle. This one's a rectangle, square, square, okay?
The cracker has the shape of a square. How do you know it is a square? It has 4 sides and 4 vertices. The 4 sides are the same length. Now you can identify squares and other rectangles.
Okay, so that was it for your visual learning. And then you have your student edition practice, which is in your workbook. I'm going to show you how that looks like. If you were live with me, you already know what to do. So in your workbook, you have to work on pages 1 and 2, you have to find the rectangle and then also a square. Number 3 and 4, you have to find, color in the rectangles in each row, and then mark an X on each rectangle that is also a square. So you have to do rectangles there. Number 5 says draw a circle around the objects that look like a rectangle, and then mark an X on each object that looks like a square. Now, students, please know how to each object mark an X. So you have to say how are rectangles and squares the same and how are they different. Okay, so rectangles don't have the same length. Squares do. A square has sides are all the same. Okay. Okay. So that is for your workbook. That's in your workbook. And then you have to do color in the rectangles in each row, mark an X on each rectangle that is also a square. Okay, so that is in your workbook. You should already have your workbook with you, your math workbook. And then go back over here, and then your homework is your additional practice. It's page 12/3, open. And your homework, let's see if it opens. There you go. So this is your homework. So for homework, you have to do an additional practice 12/3. Number says, what is the name of each shape? Color the square. Look at the shape, name them, and color the squares. So you have to just color in the squares. And then number 1 is just coloring the square. Number 2, look at the shape, name them, and then color in the rectangle. So number 1, you just have to color in the square, and number 2, you have to just color in, number 1 is you have to color in the rectangle, and then number 2, you have to color in the, number 1 is a square, and number 2 is rectangle. Okay, and that is for page 157, and then right here, number 3, draw an X on objects that look like a rectangle. And number 5, draw a circle around the objects that look like a square. So number 3 and 4, you're only looking for the rectangles. And number 5, you're just looking in for the squares. Number 6, this is where you have to do on your own. You have to draw me a rectangle and a square. And number 7, you have to draw me 2 rectangles and 2 squares. So this is your homework, okay? This is page 157 and 158, okay? Do independent practice. You have to do your workbook. If you have any questions on your workbook, I'm right here online, so you can just send me a quick chat, and I'll be here if you have any questions on your workbook. So work on your workbooks, rectangles and squares. We learned rectangles and squares last week.